Welcome to the IRMA Slip, Trip, and Fall Prevention Program. This training program is provided as an awareness level training on slip, trip, and fall prevention. It is important that following this training you discuss department-specific policies and procedures with your supervisor. This program will cover slip, trip, and fall injuries and their impact, slip, trip, and fall hazards in the workplace, slip, trip, and fall hazard controls that can be implemented in the workplace, and slip, trip, and fall prevention programs in general. The most important reason to conduct safety training is to prevent injuries. Injuries that are sustained from slip, trip, and fall incidents can cause serious consequences and can also be fatal. Slip, trip, and falls are the second most leading cause of workplace injuries across all industries. Slip, trip, and falls are the leading cause of workers' compensation claims and of workplace injury for those aged 55 and above. Slip, trip, and fall injuries make up about 20% of all job-related injuries. And while slip, trip, and falls are not a primary cause of workplace fatalities, they do represent the leading cause of lost workdays. An average slip, trip, and fall injury costs an employer about $40,000. Overall in the United States, about 20,000 people die each year due to injuries caused by falls. Falls are the third most common cause of off-the-job deaths among employees. Half of all accidental deaths in the home are caused by falls. Most of these are same-level incidents, not falls from heights. Now let's discuss slip, trip, and fall hazards in the workplace and ways to control those hazards. Slip hazards are common in all workplaces. Slip hazards in the workplace include ice, snow, wet floors, and even spills. Hazardous conditions are made worse by improper maintenance, such as failure to promptly clean up spills or treat icy sidewalks. Slips are most likely to occur when you hurry, wear improper footwear, are distracted, or don't assess your surroundings. Trip hazards in the workplace include clutter, poor housekeeping, improper lighting, surfaces with loose footing. Trips are most likely to occur when you hurry, are distracted, and don't assess your surroundings. Fall hazards in the workplace include any work at height without proper fall protection, improper or makeshift ladders, misuse of ladders, or improper scaffolding use. Falls are most likely to occur when you don't maintain 3 points of contact, don't use the proper equipment or PPE, and don't assess your surroundings. In the public works environment, slip, trip, and fall hazards are present in physical surroundings and can be caused by environmental factors. Public works employees have special exposures when carrying equipment or items that may block their view, working under time constraints, working in difficult terrain, or even performing routine housekeeping tasks. In the law enforcement environment, slip, trip, and fall hazards are great and ever-changing. Police officers are exposed to a variety of environments on a daily basis. These environments can present ice, snow, uneven terrain, and poor visibility, which is difficult to navigate as is, but throw having to run while chasing down a suspect into the mix, and there's a whole new level of exposure. Finally, slip, trip, and fall exposures for firefighters or EMS personnel are great. Responding to emergencies inhibits one's ability to implement fall protection measures. Emergency scenarios can be chaotic. They can present poor visibility. There can be many trip hazards, and they require quick action with little time to correct hazards first. This makes situational awareness that much more important for fire and EMS personnel. It is important to note any training activities, although meant to simulate emergency scenarios, should really include all appropriate slip, trip, and fall prevention measures, regardless of if those are accessible during emergencies or not. For example, while training on rooftops and practicing roof venting, firefighters must be tied off with appropriate personal fall protection systems or be provided with guardrails. It is important that each department assesses its work environment for slip, trip, and fall hazards. Some may be obvious, but others may get overlooked. For example, COP on a Rooftop is a popular charity event held each year. But just because it's a once-a-year event, does that mean that hazards don't exist? The answer is no. This activity still prevents a fall hazard and should be assessed by the employer and hazard controls implemented to